Pretty people, welcome to Abundant Tarot. For today's pick a deck reading, we're going to be seeing what's next in love for you. So, the way I have it set up is kind of like, you know, we're going to see what's going on. Duh. We're going to look at your current energy, so it can be kind of like an energy check to see like, hey, make sure the group is for you. If the current energy portion does not sound like your current energy, then hey, it's probably not your group and I would check out a different group. And then we'll look at the energy that you're transforming into in your love life. I kind of want to see like, I'm putting it at like a 2 to 3 month range of what's coming in the next 2 to 3 months for you, as of whenever this video finds you, not just when I'm like posting it. So I want to see your current energy and then how that's going to be changing over the next 2 or 3 months in regards to like love, romance, stuff like that. Are things going to be evolving? Is it going to be pretty similar? Something like that. And then we'll use the tarot to see what's next in love. So, yeah, we have 3 groups to pick from today. Group 1 is the Graffiti Tarot. Just showing you the artwork to see like how you vibe with it, if you vibe with it. And then group 2 is the Ethereal Visions Tarot, my beloved. Group 3 is the Lubanko Tarot. I think I'm saying that right. This deck is also really, really cool. I really dig it. I just like the like vibrancy of it. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. That's all I got for you. So take all the time you need to see which group you are feeling called to the most, and I will go ahead and see you in your reading. Hi group 1, if you chose the Graffiti Tarot, then it's gonna be your reading. So I have a couple pre-shuffled oracle cards for your current energy and then for the energy that you're evolving into. So let's get into it. If this doesn't sound like where you're currently at, then I would check a different group. So, for your current energy, we have Rhiannon with self-trust. And Pacifier. I hardly know her. And then we have Mercury with thoughts. And the keywords here are intellect, communication, Gemini/Virgo, Wednesday, agility, mentality, information, perception, memory, travel, transportation, and education and research. Okay, I'll start with this and then we'll get into your energy that you're transforming into. So, wherever you're currently at, you could be kind of like in a state of, I think, having to like relearn how to trust yourself, trust your instincts, and trust your own intuition. The Pacifier card is all about self-soothing. So you're probably trying to find ways to self-soothe, to like connect back with yourself in a way that feels like easy and seamless to you, in a way that feels good, that encourages like actual like deep connection with self, and the ability to really know yourself and to feel familiar with like your gut feelings, and to know the difference between like what is anxiety, what is intuition, what are feelings that are getting like projected onto you by other people, and then what are the feelings that are like genuinely yours, genuinely being felt like by you. With Mercury, with thoughts, it's probably like a challenge to not overthink things. Real, yeah. Probably a challenge to not overthink things, and probably like in a state where you're trying to learn the balance between like intuition and like logic, intellect, overthinking kind of thing. Anxiety, you could call it even. Yeah. You could be incorporating new ways of like having affirmations for yourself that lean into trusting your intuition and trusting yourself. Like, and they could be like vocally based or based in like words, like words of affirmations. You could write stuff on your mirror and have that as like a daily reminder to yourself. You could be journaling, writing, yeah. You could also be having a lot of like conversations with yourself about what it means to like trust yourself, trust your instincts, trust your intuition, trust where you're being led, and like what is feeling right to you, as opposed to like for example, if you are a victim of a like gaslighter, previously in the past, like past relationships, or just relationships with people in general, it doesn't even have to be romantic, that could have left you with like trauma, and like a inability to like trust if you're seeing things correctly, or trust your own feelings, trust your own like logic and power of deduction, so I think that could be something that you're currently working on healing, something that you're currently working on ensuring you get back into shape, if that makes sense. Yeah. Also, horses could be significant in some way, just because she's very, hey, there's a horse right there. She's very connected to horses, which then like that's gonna make me think of Sagittarius energy. Yeah. Especially if there were people previously who would like with pacifier try and like shut you up a little bit and try and like feed you information or like lies or their versions of truths in order to placate you in some way, and in order to get you to like doubt yourself or doubt what you are seeing, feeling, believing, anything like that, gaslighting, then I think now currently you could be really going through a time of like, okay, well, that's a bunch of bullshit. How do I heal from that? How do I go about like fixing my that like bodily system, Yeah. You could even be like seeking out education on how to go about doing that, like how to go about healing from that. There could be like books you're getting into, you could be watching like videos from like professionals, or even just seeking out other people who have had similar experiences and realizing that maybe your perception of things wasn't initially warped. Yeah. Okay, cool. So that's your current energy that don't sound like you. I would check a different group. And then for the energy you're transforming into, we have Hera with commitment, the collector, and then conjunction with union. The letter C could also be significant. Sorry. was a bad pun. Just because, hey, conjunction, collector, commitment. Moving into a very sea energy. You know? Okay. So, hey, with commitment and union here, this could be like a couple different things. One, just like with everything that we talked about with your current energy, I think part of it is, like a major part of it is going to be moving into like union with yourself and committing to yourself, and finding ways that you can, like, with the collector, like, gather up resources to assure yourself that you cannot go through whatever you have been through previously. Even if someone were to, like, fucking try it, they would not be able to be successful with the tools that you have spent time acquiring and putting in your tool belt. Yeah. I also think that, like, potentially, we'll see with, like, what's coming up next for you, but, like, with commitment and union, hey, there could also be someone who is coming in for you who will sort of, like, help you in that area of being able to trust yourself and show that they themselves also are a very trustworthy individual, and that they're not a liar, or anything like that. They have, like, positive intentions and move forward with, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, integrity? That one. Yeah. Also, like, very strong composure is another thing coming to mind. Yeah. Cool. That's really, like, straightforward. Like coming into union with yourself, feeling really comfortable and confident in yourself as well. And also potentially, like, with someone else. But I think, like, the main thing is the union with yourself. And with the collector card, it's kind of like, yeah, okay. Because, like, with the collector card, that is all about someone who has, like, their one special thing that they're, like, really fucking into, and they have really extensive knowledge on it. So you could quiz them about anything, and they will ace it easily. And then also tell you a million fun facts that you didn't know about it. So I think this is literally just you having such extensive knowledge on the topic of, like, healthy relationships, yourself, you know, your relationship with yourself, your connection with yourself, what kinds of things, like, would you do, what would you not do, what would you believe, what would you not believe, so that way if anybody tries to, like, test your resolve or anything like that, they fail miserably, and then you get to point and laugh at them. Just kidding, but maybe. Maybe, I don't know, if someone does that, then, like, maybe they deserve it, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. Cool, okay. So, and this is in, like, the next 2 to 3 months as of whenever this video is finding you. So, let's get into it. So, what the star? Let's see. What's next in love for them? What is next in love for Pale One? These cards are kind of thick. Okay. Okay, we have the 8 of Wands. The Tower. We have, ooh, the Page of Swords and the Empress. She kind of looks like Yzma from Emperor's New Groove. Just a little bit. What else? What's next in for them? We have the 9 of Cups in reverse. The 5 of Wands. And the Chariot with the 2 of Swords on the bottom. 8 of Swords in the middle. That makes sense. Okay. What's interesting, if you guys read your own cards, I'm curious to know. I often find that whenever I do readings, the 2 of Swords and the 8 of Swords like to come out together in a pair. Which is interesting because they both, in like the Rider-Waite Tarot, depict someone like in a blindfold. Yeah, I'm just curious if that happens to like anyone else. So, okay. So, yeah, like, I genuinely think with the 8 of Wands, you're going to, the next, like, few months might pass by kind of quickly, and with the Tower, it's kind of like you, and I think it's, like, a purposeful Tower. I think it's the recognition that, there's some bullshit hanging around that needs to be let go of, and that needs to be even burned down to the ground, so that you can allow yourself a fresh start where you feel free enough to move forward, where you aren't doubting yourself if it's like the right thing to do or not. Is it the right time? Is it like enough? Like, am I enough? Like, am I strong enough to do this? Do I know how to do this? Like, anything like that. There's no more questioning yourself, and it's going to be a process to get there, but like that's what the next few months is going to be, the process of getting there, I think, especially with like the Empress, like getting to a point where you feel strong and capable and happy with yourself, and confident in yourself, and like no one can test you. Like, that's the big thing, where you feel so stable and secure in yourself that anybody could question you, and it would be really easy to like shut them up, you know? Yeah, I do think though it will kind of be a frustrating time, where it's not going to be a picture perfect, like, I'm healed, like, linear thing. There's going to be a lot of back and forth. There's going to be falling back into old habits. There's going to be a lot of, like, wondering if you're doing the right thing, wondering if you're, like, approaching things properly, or, just like, self-doubt that wants to come knock on the door every now and then sometimes you answer, sometimes you yell, fuck off. Yeah. I will say I'm not necessarily seeing any like new person come in and be of significance in the next few months, but I kind of think that is because that would tamper with the healing process, like the healing journey. Yeah, because you need to be able to like rebuild that solid foundation of the home you're building, metaphorically, that is you, before you can even have like the doorway up and the door built to be able to like let someone in, you know? Yeah. With the Chariot and the Eight of Wands, though, I definitely think that, like, it's going to feel pretty rapid. It's going to feel perhaps even, like, overwhelming at times, where maybe it's, like, too much too soon, or just a lot to deal with, a lot to process. With the Page of Swords, I think you're kind of being encouraged to take in information, especially when it comes to, like, the education that we talked about and, like, the learning and everything. Take in information, like, in small bites instead of trying to bite off more than you can chew, because I think that is just going to make it easier to digest and easier to implement. Yeah. With the Nine of Cups, it's kind of interesting. I don't think the healing process journey thing is going to be as easy, simple, free-flowing as you're wanting. It's not going to happen exactly the way that you had hoped. But I think that's not a bad thing. I think it's just going to be different. I think you're just going to be supplied with, like, different information, and perhaps there could even be, like, moments where you have to take accountability for things maybe that you did as a result of being put in tough situations, and then having to, you know, figure out how to maneuver around that, how to integrate those truths into the healing process. Yeah. With the Two of Swords, there is going to be a lot of learning how to balance intuition and like logic, and how to go within and search for the answers that you're trying to find, because sometimes you might not be able to find the answers to whatever questions you have surrounding this, like through a Google search of, like, you know, I think that it's going to make you, there's going to be, like, times where you question yourself. There's going to be moments where you are unsure if an answer that you find is, your intuition, or if it's just a truth that you are supplying yourself with because it makes you feel better. Yeah. I do think you are going to be taking pretty good care of yourself, though, and learning how to sit in your power again, and what that, like, means specifically for you. Yeah. Okay, cool. 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 I have a little, like, ceramic jar, I guess, full of old incense powder, and it just fell. Yay! Anyway, let's get some advice for you and then close out your reading, because I think that's it. I think that's all I have for you. Pretty straightforward. So, what advice do we have for pile 1? We have harmony. Trigger statement, I am boiling over, and the true statement is, I allow myself to feel. Give yourself space to decompress and take time to nurture your body, mind, and spirit. Allow emotions to surface and release. I kind of think that's going to be the most important and also frustrating part, is learning how to do that. Oh, we have another one that flipped over. Purpose. Trigger statement, what's the point of it all? True statement, I'm special. You have a unique place in this world with gifts and talents that only you can provide. Use your connection with the divine to share them. Elevate, trigger statement, I feel so low. True statement, I persevere. Release the worry and fear and allow confidence, trust, and strength to take you to your goal. And then we have peaceful with trigger statement, my life is a mess. True statement, I find stillness within. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. Go within to find peace there, and your life will reflect that. Okay. Also, it's the like solar plexus chakra, crown chakra, and we have 2 heart chakra cards. But yeah, I think that like the most important and most troubling part of the journey is going to be learning how to trust your own feelings and learning how, like, when things do bubble up, how to properly like process and then deal with that, as opposed to feeling like you're being subjected to your own feelings and then it's overwhelming and difficult to deal with. Yeah, and then finding like a sense of security in yourself as well. Like if you feel like you have nowhere to turn to at times, like when you are dealing with these really overwhelming feelings, I think another thing I guess that you'll be learning is to find that you can like turn to yourself as like a source of comfort and for answers, and also for like recognition. If you just need someone to like be there for you, learning how to do that for yourself. Obviously, you know, you can't rely on yourself for like everything, because that is really isolating and lonely. But I think part of that is just going to be learning how to build your connection back with yourself. Not that you have to do everything yourself, like your external relationships and connections with like friends, our family, you know, are just as important. But if your relationship with yourself has been like what has been neglected, then that's just the focus. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, lovely. Thank you so much for joining me for your reading. That's all I have for you. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this reading. If you enjoy how I read, would love to have you here. I also have a Patreon where I post exclusive pick a card content, pick a card readings, to education stuff, tarot spreads, week ahead like readings that I do, and then I also do monthly readings on there. If you want to check that out and join, that would be really cool. You can also check out my tarot and oracle deck. I made this. You can buy it. You can check it out. It's called the Childlike Wonders Oracle, and then I have the Bone Dead the Bone Dead Tarot. Yeah, those will both be linked down below. You can also book a personal reading if you would like, and you can follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Bone Dead Tarot. I post readings and other silly fun tarot stuff there too. So, thanks for being here. Thanks for letting me read for you, and I hope you have a lovely morning, afternoon, or night when we're watching. Bye. Hi group 2, if you chose the Ethereal Visions Tarot, then this is gonna be your reading. So I have the cards pre-shuffled for the like energy check portion. We're gonna start with seeing what your current energy is, so that way if you are watching and you're like, that doesn't sound like me at all with where I'm currently at, I would check a different group. And then we'll see what energy you are transforming into in your love life. And then we'll do charms. I have to get those. It's been a few days since I filmed group 1. Then we'll do charms, and then we'll get into the tarot. So let me get charms real quick. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into the oracle part of your reading. So for your current energy, we have Lakshmi with prosperity, and then we have left out, and Uranus with breakthrough, change, originality, awakening, Aquarius, shocking, revolutionary, innovation, sudden events, epiphanies, unconventional, and unusual. So, you might not be, like, with the left out card and with Lakshmi and, like, Uranus energy, it's like one of two things. One, either you're not super in to, like, love and romance right now, where maybe you've been, like, out of the game, so to speak, for a little while, but you're kind of okay with it. Maybe you're really focused on, you know, your career, getting the bag, growing your life in other, like, splendid ways. Yeah. It's just kind of like there's other things getting your attention. You're more concerned with enriching your life in as many ways as you can, like, personally handle, as you can personally take on yourself. Since, like, hey, love and romance is kind of at least a two-person deal. So I think that you're focused on creating, like, a very rich life for yourself in all of the other areas of your life. So, like, your personal life could be flourishing, your career could be flourishing, or you're doing your fucking darndest to make sure that you're putting yourself in that energy of feeling like things are moving forward in a really prosperous way. With this Uranus energy, though, maybe you've been so focused on yourself and your career and, like, growth, perhaps, like, education is coming through, that you're, like, slowing down a little bit and then looking around and realizing, like, actually, like, pause, like, wait a second, I might actually want something more to happen here. Like, I might want to spend my time with another person romantically. Friendships are lovely. Like, maybe around you have a lot of friends who are in relationships or, like, getting married, who have kids or something, and you've been on more of, like, a career focused path, and you're reaching a point where now you're kind of wanting to expand your territory of, like, richness and have that richness bleed into a romantic life. And that might feel, for some of you, maybe kind of strange or just very new. Perhaps at one point in your life you were like, oh my god, relationships, like, that'd be so cool. And then you talked yourself out of it and then got into more of, like, a career focused thing. And then that was, like, super fulfilling, is super fulfilling. But now maybe you want to, like, share your time and space with another person a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. Like, maybe you're seeing other people around you have healthy, flourishing relationships, and you're like, actually, that looks kind of nice. Wait, let me participate. Let me get in on that. So, that's your current energy. 555 on the frickin'... That makes sense, actually, because 5's all about change. So, like, things are changing for you. Very much so, like, internally. Like, there could be, like, a change of ideologies occurring, a change of, like, what you thought you wanted for yourself. That could be shifting, changing, growing, maneuvering, all the other synonyms. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, for the energy you are moving into, we have Amaterasu. Wait, hold on. Sorry. Amaterasu. Yeah, self-esteem. I am off and on learning Japanese. It's a lot, so I get overwhelmed and then I stop. Amaterasu. Yeah, okay. And then we have the deep end. Okay. And then Lilith with taboo. Darkness, untamed, intensity, independence, erotic, sexual liberation, temptation, secret desires, fetishes, shadow side, empowerment, and destruction. Amaterasu, Amaterasu is the sun goddess in Japanese culture. There's a specific, what is it called? Shinto faith? Okay. So with self-esteem, it's like, taking the sun goddess aspect of it, I am kind of going to take that as you putting yourself out there and becoming more visible. And with the deep end, oh my gosh, I literally think you are going to start putting yourself out there more, just becoming more visible, because the deep end is all about traversing like a section or an area or something that is kind of a little bit out of your depth, feels daunting or like a little scary or nerve-wracking to explore, because there's a lot of just fear around it. Fear of like, what if I can't swim? What if I can't do this? Like, what if something happens? Just a lot of swirling thoughts. But an aspect of the deep end card is just having to bite the bullet and jump in and see what happens. Kind of like be brave and just get out there and do it, because if you don't just bite the bullet and do it, then you never will. You'll constantly have cold feet. So it's getting over your cold feet and putting yourself out there and doing it. Maybe you're getting on dating apps. Maybe is speed dating still a thing? I have no idea. I've literally only seen it in like media. I also don't date or seek those things out, so that's probably why. I don't know. Anyway, with Lilith here with taboo, I think the way you're putting yourself out there is very almost confrontational, just in a sense where like you're about your business, you know who you are, you know what you want, you are going to ask directly for it. It's very like no bullshit, or like the whole thank you next Ariana Grande era. Okay, anyway. It's kind of giving that, where you know what you want, and so you're going to very quickly perhaps like cycle through a few individuals until you find a person who matches your I want to use the word prowess. Good for you, diva. Prowess, yeah. And someone who I literally can like match your freak, can match your energy, can meet you in all of the ways that you're successful. Like, it can be fun to be the breadwinner, but I think that you are looking for someone who's an equal, so who's going to be as ambitious as you, as career-oriented as you, perhaps. Just someone who knows what they want out of life and is actively going after it. Someone who's not docile. Yeah. You're allowing yourself to be very intense, and I think that's a good thing. Because it's just going to draw people in. It is going to repel a few people, but like, good, that's the point, because then it'll leave room for people who are drawn in by that energy to come in and make themselves known. Those are going to be the people who can actually like match your energy, meet you like bar for bar, you know. There's going to be times where it feels kind of daunting internally. I don't think you'll ever let that show externally. I don't think that's ever going to happen. Like, you could be on a date with someone and feel kind of nervous, and maybe you know you're being fidgety. They will not be able to clock it, trust me. They some people might be intimidated by you, but then there's other people who are going to be very like turned on by your confidence in the way you carry yourself. Not just like sexually turned on, but like just into it, you know? Okay, sorry. I had to double check from group 1. We're not doing charms today. I was wrong. I got confused with last week's video. Okay, well let's get into tarot. Yay! So, this is one of my favorite tarot decks. I'm so freaking excited. Like, she's gorge. I love her. Okay, so what is next in love for group 2? Okay, we have the 7 of Pentacles, the 3 of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, King of Cups. Okay. Can I get 3 more? Thank you. The Knight of Pentacles. Oh, hello? Ha! The 4 of Wands. And the 4 of Pentacles with the High Priestess on the bottom. Love to see it. Okay. So, if you, like, don't want a relationship, bad news. If you do want a relationship, great news! That is coming in for you. Like, the 4 of Wands is union, like, is coming together in celebration, to celebrate the union, you know? And especially with, like, the King of Cups, I think there is going to be, like, a specific someone who stands out amongst the rest, who is very emotionally intelligent, again, about their business, very smart, very compassionate. I think they have a really nice, like, voice, or like a very nice way of speaking that has a way of making you feel very settled, very calm, very like reassured, comfortable, very like like a very smooth voice. Not that they're like a smooth talker, but they have like a smooth cadence, or like a very rich voice. Yeah. They could have nice hair if they have hair. I want to say they could have really nice hair, just because the King of Cups in this deck has luscious locks. With the 7 of Pentacles and the 3 of Cups, I do think that something important to note is taking a very, like, lighthearted approach to dating is probably going to be allowing yourself to have fun while you're dating is going to be the best way to go, because you know what you want, and you know, like, pretty much how to get it and, like, how to go after it. It's just a matter of time for it to, you know, come to you so that you can, it's within reach so you can grab it. But in the meantime, I think it's important to remind yourself to have fun with, you know, the people that you'll be going on a date with, unless they are truly, genuinely, like, unbearable, in which then talk your shit, do it. But I don't really, that's not really, like, coming up, really. With the 3 of Cups, I think there's going to be a lot of fun. You could honestly meet people that you're like, actually, we'd be pretty good friends. I don't really feel like anything romantic happening, but we could be friends if you want. You could meet new friends. But with the Wheel of Fortune, I think that, because the Wheel of Fortune is, I read it as, like, good luck, like, things moving positively in your direction, things moving in favor for you. So with the Seven of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune, like while it might feel like it takes a little bit of time for this like King of Cups individual to find you, I don't know if you're necessarily going to really be feeling that passage of time, because you'll be enjoying yourself and you'll be investing in yourself and meeting people who check off boxes, and then meeting people who give you reasons to add more boxes to the list, which isn't a bad thing. Sometimes there's things that you aren't aware like you need on the list until you experience the opposite of it. Like, what's an example? What's an example? I can't think of any examples in love and romance, but like I'm moving soon, and so there's things with this house that I didn't think to look for when I moved into this house, but now I'm like, okay, well, I need a shit ton of counter space in my bathroom because the sink I have now has literally 0. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like you'll know through experience what to add to your box. And with the Knight of Pentacles, I think you're going to be taking a very slow and steady approach to it. People can like make offers to you of, hey, want to see how things go, and you'll say that's literally what we're already doing, so I guess. But I'm also still gonna be going on dates with other people because we're not committed to one another, and I'm not sold on the fact that it's you. Peace and love. So you're very, I really like your energy. I really like it. I could honestly take some notes. With the Four of Pentacles and the Four of Wands, like, I do think once you find the person, which it will be happening with the King of Cups, who checks all your boxes and then some, like if you have a list of like needs and then a list of like wants and then a list of this would be nice, I think they check most, if not all of them. And then I think they like to go above and beyond. Like I do think this is the kind of person who does go above and beyond. The image I'm getting in my head is someone who's very like suave, like they're wearing a suit and you're at a lovely like romantic dinner with them where it's kind of like dimly lit, it's like at a nice restaurant, and they're very in touch and in tune with you. They're a very good listener. They have a nice laugh, like a very like rich laugh, not like there's a meme going around, or like that did go around, where it was like the laugh that rich men make while playing golf, and it's like ah ha ha. I don't know, I can't do it, I'm not a rich man. But it's more of like their voice itself is just like chocolate. I don't know, it's rich. That's the best thing I can come up with. Yeah, very good listener. They're very they might have an intense energy to them, or presence, or the way they look at you, there might just kind of be like a weight behind it, but it's because they're paying like special attention to you, and they are reading you, and they are looking at your mannerisms and seeing the way you carry yourself and seeing if it's authentic or not, because I think they've dealt with people who aren't authentic in the past but pretend like they're all like hoity-toity or something, and maybe this person fell for it and then they were like, pause, you're a fraud, get out of here. But you're not, you're the real deal, you're it. And I think that's gonna make them really excited. I think they're gonna be very excited to get to know you. They'll probably ask a lot of questions to get to know you better. You might find that you spend most of your first, I'm getting like a lot. You might find that you spend most of your first date with them being the one who's speaking the most. But it's going to be nice because, one, they're not like talking at you. Ew. Two, they're actively listening and actively responding. It's not just like a nod, like, uh-huh. Yeah, like it's a conversation as it should be. Yeah. They do very well for themselves. They've like made it a point to become successful in life before choosing to share their life with someone else, because I think that they like crave stability, need stability, require stability, and they're not going to not be the best version of themselves to date for someone else that they care about, you know? Also with the High Priestess, I think that you are like really good at reading people as well, like energy. So when you meet this King of Cups individual, I think you'll immediately clock like, ooh, okay. Like, you're the real deal. Okay. I don't know, like, let's see what you got. And it's gonna be really nice. There's a lot of like playfulness between the two of you, and teasing. It's cute. There's a lot of flirtiness. I love it. It's so cute. I do think they are going to take things slow with you and really enjoy it, like the whole process of it, like traditional like courtship type stuff. Yeah. Yeah. I think sometimes you might catch yourself feeling almost a little too comfortable around them for the amount of time that you have known them, and you might like pull yourself back as a result, and they're gonna be like, oh, where'd you go, like what was that? And you're like, I'm just too like one, how did you collect that? Two, I was just a little too comfortable. I've met you 3 times. I don't know. But it's because you feel like safe with them and comfortable enough to be comfortable around them, if that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, cool. That's beautiful. I'm so excited for you, group 2. Okay, well, cool. Let's close out with some advice cards for you to keep in mind as you are embracing this new energy coming into your love life. What advice do we have for group 2? We have the heart chakra with acceptance. Trigger statement, I cannot trust anyone, and the true statement is everyone deserves my love. I open my heart to heal and release. I open myself to the peace of divine love and grace. Yeah, I do think potentially like trust is going to be something. Ha ha ha. The solar plexus chakra with trust. Trigger statement, what if something happens? True statement, I take my hands off the wheel. Scary to do. You will be okay doing that. You are not alone. The universe is working with you. Relax and enjoy the adventure. Yeah! Yeah, I love when that happens. Also, these are blends. Both of these are blends, which is interesting. Or no, winter green's actually just a plant. Just kidding, I lied. I do think trust is going to be a very big thing for you as you explore these new relationships. And then we have the solar plexus again with aligned. Trigger statement, it is not my fault. True statement, I take full responsibility. Shift into your body and listen. Release the emotions you've been storing and move forward. And then we have, yo, what chakra is that? Pause. Sorry. Okay. Those are curtain beads. I have to do something with them. Throat. That makes sense. Spearmint with conviction, the throat chakra. Trigger statement, no one listens to me. True statement, my voice is heard. Stand strong and communicate your message. The world is ready to receive what you have to share. Which I think is going to be like, which I think is why this person being such an active and active listener, listening with intent, is going to feel so perhaps like intrusive at times, because it's like they're actually like genuinely trying to get to know all of the depths that you possess, and sometimes it might feel like they're poking and prodding and trying to get you to like pry yourself open, but that's not the case. They just want to get to know you. And also you have, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this, you have a lot of walls up. So someone trying to get to know you is going to feel like them knocking down a wall, but when you have 37 walls, and you stand at the center, and that's where they're trying to get, because that's where you are, and they're trying to get to you, to know you, a knock on the door is going to be like, excuse me, can I help you? You know, you have to like allow yourself to trust a person. Terrifying. That is required in a healthy relationship. So, yeah. Okay. I think that's all I have for you. So, thanks so much for joining me for your reading. I really, really appreciate it. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this reading, if you enjoy how I read. You can also check out the Patreon. I have, we have fun there. It's a good time. I post daily card pulls to see how the day's gonna go for us, and then weekly spreads to see how the week ahead is going to go. And then I do my monthly readings on there as well. And then I also do extra pick a card content. I post tarot spreads that you can do for yourself if you read tarot. There's a lot of good stuff. Yeah, you can also check out my tarot and oracle deck I made. This is the oracle deck I made. It's called the Childlike Wonders Oracle. I also have the Bone Dead Tarot you can check out if you read your own cards. You can book a personal reading. That'll be down below. And lastly, you can check out my TikTok and Instagram at Bone Dead Tarot. I post readings on there too, and fun, silly stuff. So yeah, that's all I have for you. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, or night whenever you're watching. Bye. Hypo 3 if you chose the Lubanko Tarot. This side's pretty. Then this is gonna be your reading. So we're gonna start out with some oracle cards to do an energy check for the energy you're currently in, and then what energy you're transferring into when it comes to your love life. If this does not sound like you and where you're currently at with your current energy part of the reading, I would check a different group. Yeah, and then we'll get into tarot to see what is next in love for you. So, yeah, yay, let's go and get into it. So, for your current energy, we have White Buffalo Woman with Peace. And then we have Accidents. And then Venus with Love, Beauty, Romance, Friday, Taurus / Libra, Courtship, Aesthetics, Sex Appeal, Affection, Sensuality, Values, Pleasure, Grace, Gratitude, Inspiration, and Self-Worth. So, and then we'll get into the energy you're transforming to in a second. So, for your current energy, it's very much giving, protecting your peace, like, cultivating love and romance in your own life kind of without another person, because including another person makes things messy. and more complicated to handle and to control, and creates outcomes that you can't quite predict most of the time. And with accidents, there could have been something perhaps that happened in the past, or like the recent past potentially, that led you to not really like want to put yourself out there. And you're just kind of, I think, like protecting your peace and keeping yourself a little isolated, but doing so from, again, like a protective standpoint, but also from a very self-love standpoint, with like Venus energy still being here. Like, I think obviously, because you're here watching this reading, love and romance is still something that you are interested in, but it's not necessarily, like, love and romance with another person is not something that you're prioritizing right now. I think you're prioritizing taking care of yourself, mending anything potentially that was like broken or hurt or harmed from past relationships with people, and you are like batting people away with a stick, I think, when it comes to your current energy. I think that you are just working on like self-worth and connecting with yourself. And I think that's the most important part to you right now, is making sure that you are treating yourself in a way that is kind, respectful, dutiful, I want to say, and that establishes good boundaries with yourself, is healthy, that you have, you know, healthy, positive thoughts and opinions of yourself. That way no one can come in and like shake things up for you and make you doubt yourself. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're finding ways to incorporate romance in your life, but it's by making the things around you romantic, like lighting a candle and having a glass of wine with like dinner, dressing yourself in a way that makes you feel really good in your skin, being more intentional with your self-care, with how you wash yourself, with how you do your makeup, if you wear makeup, stuff like that. Yeah, I really dig it. I really like it. Yeah. It could feel like maybe you're picking up the pieces from something, like from like a recent heartbreak or something that happened, you know? Because accidents is like, oops. Oops. Fuck. That wasn't supposed to happen. Didn't mean for that to happen. Tough. And then you kind of have to figure out how to clean it up and then go about your day. Yeah. And also not be too hard on yourself, because again, accidents happen, so try not to like place blame on yourself, or maybe not on anyone in particular. Maybe it was just something that occurred, something that happened, you know, and then you have to find ways to accept it and then move past it. Sorry, there's a area on the back of the cards where it kind of looks, we'll call it yonic. Okay, so for the energy you are moving into, I really dig it. We have sirens with temptation, and then dandelions, and Jupiter with abundance, growth, expansion, Sagittarius/Pisces, Thursday, higher education, philosophy, good luck, optimism, faith, generosity, and prosperity. Yeah. The dandelions card is literally like the equivalent of the 9 of Cups card. So it's all about wish fulfillment, all about getting exactly what you ask for, setting your intentions and seeing them get, you know, seeing like the follow through happen and reaping the rewards. It's really sweet. It's a really, really cute card. I really like it. And then I think that the energy you're transforming into is realizing your personal power, realizing the strength you have, the allure you have. And if you don't think you have any allure, well, that's because your current energy is more so focused about building up the recognition of that allure, right? And then in the future, you'll have fully embodied it. Very much so, like, embracing what it means to embody love, desire, your own sexuality, like embracing all of it and seeing it as like an all-encompassing thing and not just like bits and pieces of you that you can pick and choose if you like or not, or like if you want to repress or not. I think you're embracing like all of you, and then that is making you into a very magnetic person. Yeah, I think there could be a lot of people who are very drawn to your energy, who are very, very drawn to you, because you're just gonna have that like je ne sais quoi. But then you get to kind of pick and choose if people are worth your time, if you want to invest in them the way that they will want to invest in you. And you're gonna have a very easy time saying no to people, like a very easy time saying no to people, and an even better time saying yes to people once you've decided that someone is worth your time, is worth your energy, is worth like whatever effort would be required to put into them. With the Jupiter card with abundance, I think that like your hard work is paying off. Like all of the work you're putting into self-love, self-care, self-romance, all of that is going to pay off fucking like tenfold, dude, honestly, by then like infusing every area of your life with like love and romance and desire and like temptation, but like in the best way. Yeah, you feel like your energy feels expansive and like it has reach. You can also be experiencing like a lot of good luck, like genuinely like a lot of things, and this could be like outside of just love and romance. I think things could just genuinely really be going your way. There could be a lot of wish fulfillment coming in, and I set the intention of this to be like the next 2 to 3 months. Yeah, so a lot of things are going your way, a lot of wish fulfillment is happening, you'll be experiencing a lot of good luck. People could be really generous towards you, just like wanting to give you things with like the siren energy, because it just makes you magnetic and it makes people like want to pay attention to you, want to do things for you, want to listen to you, hear you out, and then, you know, give you whatever. Like there could be something about your voice that is like honeyed, I want to say, where the words you speak are very, very sweet and just make people like, I'm thinking of how there's like a glamour magic thing where you can put just like a little bit of honey on your lips in the morning, so that you can speak sweetly and draw people in with your words. Maybe you're getting, honestly, that like makes a lot of sense. You could be someone who's into or like getting into glamour magic and finding ways to connect with yourself through glamour magic. And with Venus, maybe you're connecting with Venus directly, or like Aphrodite, or some other like love or self-empowerment, I suppose, like deity. Yeah, that like makes a lot of sense. But especially like sirens, like something about your voice just makes people like want to pay attention to you, makes people want to do things for you, give you things, be nice to you, be generous to you, be like attracted to you. Because like these are some baddies. Do they have crazy hands and claws? Yeah, they do. They're baddies and they're dangerous, and that's a beautiful combination. Okay. Okay. Cool. I think that's all I have for your energy check. So if that doesn't sound like you, I would check a different group. So, let's see. What's next in love for you? Okay. What's next in love? That was a poopy shuffle. What is next in love for group? Okay, we have the Page of Wands, the Hierophant, the Page of Swords, the King of Cups, the Hanged Man, the Two of Pentacles. Can I get one more? Ooh, the Three of Swords with the Two of Wands on the bottom. Interesting. Are you gonna come say hi? No? That's okay, you don't have to. It's Cleo. You're so fickle. So it's kind of interesting. I think there's going to be a lot of people who express their interest in you. Yeah. Especially with like Page of Wands, Page of Swords, the King of Cups. That's interesting. The King of Cups came out in not exact place in group 2. Could be someone who ends up actually being like worth your time, worth their salt is a phrase that I think could apply here. Try not to have her flash you, that's okay. I also usually read the Hierophant as like a commitment card. So commitment could be in the cards for you in the next couple of months, but I don't know if it's something that you're necessarily going to want to like lean into, going to accept. Like there could be people who are like, hey, we can go out on some dates, like that'd be fun, and then maybe you say sure just to see what it's about, and then maybe they grow to really like you and you grow to, I want to say tolerate them, you grow to like they're nice to hang out with, but I don't know if you'll be incredibly like into them, attracted to them. Because with the Three of Swords, I still think that there's going to be some healing that's being done, still going to be some tender wounds to be looked at that dating could potentially like further agitate. And the Hierophant can also, I will read it as like sort of, if you like work with deities or like want to, I will sort of read it as like a deity card. So you could be getting closer with your deities, or they could be like telling you, giving you advice and stuff of what to look for in people who are worth their time. Because with the Two of Pentacles, there's just a lot of, in the Hanged Man, there's probably going to be like a lot of back and forth trying to decide whether or not you want to spend your time with people. It's like there's a lot of kind of indecision, because there could be people who are really fun to hang out with, who are really fun to talk to, but with the Hanged Man, it's like you're still in your cocoon phase, you're still growing, you're still evolving, you are still not yet hatched, not yet reached your full potential, you haven't evolved into your second evolution, or maybe fifth, you know, depending on where you are in life, Pokemon evolution. So I think the people who are going to be interested in you, one, like, might not want to wait for you to finish growing, evolving, but I don't think that's a bad thing, because I think this King of Cups individual is probably going to be the one who, to like pay attention to the most during this time. I think they'll be very patient. I think they will be very understanding. I think they're going to take their time with you, because I think they'll recognize that you are in a place of like growth and development and working on yourself and still healing. Yeah, with the Two of Wands, it's like there's potential for building. There's the opportunity to like see a future together, but then you have to strategize like how to do that. Sorry. I think I have animals living under my house. I need to talk to my landlord. Anyway, that scared me. I think it's going to take a bit of time to like strategize and try to figure out how you want to approach dating, how you want to approach relationships with people, like intimate relationships with people, while also taking care of yourself, while also savoring yourself, not giving too much of yourself up for another person for the sake of like proving that you're growing and changing to yourself or to like anybody around you. Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like potentially prematurely putting yourself out there. I think once you do reach that full like siren potential that we saw, I think that is when things are going to start feel like they're actually falling into place, and when you actually feel ready to get out there. That is going to be like 2 to 3 months from now. So in the meantime, don't feel the need to rush yourself through your growth process, because that's not gonna happen. Not gonna be good for you. Not going to like bode well for you. If anything, it might just cause delays, because then like if you are in a cocoon and you're like, okay, I'm gonna come out of my cocoon, guys, I'm so ready. Why isn't the cocoon opening up? I'm gonna cut myself out of the cocoon. And then you cut yourself out of the cocoon, you're still goop. You need to wait a little bit so you can be butterfly. So you can actually take off with your wings. That is so crazy how that fucking works with like caterpillars. It's crazy. Okay. Is there anything else? Cleo, you're so cool. The King of Cups individual could show you like areas where you need to pay more attention to yourself or to your growth, or areas where you need to listen to yourself more. I do think they will be older than you. That's kind of, or like more mature than you, or they'll have like a sense, deja vu, they'll have a sense of like wisdom that is like going to be very appreciated. At times it might be kind of frustrating, because it might feel like potentially maybe they're talking down to you, but I think they're just trying to be helpful. And it's not their intention to be like patronizing or condescending or anything. They might just need to like watch their tone. Okay. Is there anything else? Okay, I think that's it. So let's get some advice cards for you. So for some things to keep in mind over the next few months when it comes to your love life. What are some things for pile 3 to keep in mind in their love life in the next few months? We have the sacral chakra with soften. The trigger statement is I take control, and the true statement is I am compassionate. Take a moment and allow yourself to see things from your heart center. From that place, allow your intuition to guide you. Okay. I get 2 more. Root chakra with foundation. True statement, I am rejected. Whoa. Trigger statement, I am rejected. True statement, I am accepted. You have don't believe I'm rejected is a true statement. Like that is something that is a internal belief that needs to potentially that does need to be healed. If you have that one. So you have the strength to stand firm in your decision. Honor your feelings and pursue the path you're feeling called to. Can I get one more? And sacral once again with projection. Trigger statement, my mind does not rest. True statement, I listen to my higher self. Look at each story that repeats itself in your mind as a stranger would. Ask yourself, is this true? On the bottom we have solar plexus with release. Trigger statement, I have nothing left. True statement, I nurture myself. Dear one, it is time to settle. Create a sacred space where you can be. In that place of rest, healing will unfold. All of these are like the lower chakras, which to my understanding have to do with like your groundedness, your confidence in yourself with like solar plexus, and your ability to feel rooted and secure and like safe. So that could be something that you are like working on over the next few months, like in your love life with yourself. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So, lovely. Well, 3, I think that's all I have for you. So, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for joining me for a reading. I really, really appreciate it. Thanks for letting me read for you. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this reading, if you enjoy how I read. That's always really helpful. You can also check out my Patreon. I do daily readings on there, with like card of the day stuff, and then I do a week ahead look, a look into your week ahead, and then I do month ahead readings as well, and then I also do pick a card readings on there. I do a lot on there. It's rich with stuff. It's good. You should check it out. It's like $5 a month for all of that. It's really it's a pretty good deal in my opinion. And then I also have a tarot and oracle deck you can check out if you want to. This is the oracle deck I made. It's called the Childlike Wonders Oracle. And then I have the Bone Dead Tarot. That'll be linked down below. You can also book a personal reading if you feel called to, and that'll be linked down below as well. And then you can check me out on Instagram and TikTok. I do readings there, and I post silly fun stuff. So yeah, thanks for joining me, and I give a good morning, afternoon, or night whenever you're watching. Bye.